Hey y'all, and welcome back to our Rayman Origins commentary. It's time for the hunt for the Four Kings.
And we did a bit of a swap out because Matt at this point really started hating the game. He doesn't join us for any of the backtracking portion of Origins, and to an extent he's not joining us for this first world, mostly because he's busy with work.
On Labor Day, nonetheless.
But in his place, baby sister!
I know. So we have a little mouse.
Hello.
Hey,
Hey
Sheely,
there.
welcome to Rayman Origins, or as I like to call it,
Out of my way.
Happy Slap Times with Schmucks.
We also
slap
have a
time.
Nancy dog in the background, so if you hear him.
Nah,
well.
well, to be fair, I think everyone already knows about the dogs. Like, between your dogs and my dogs,
Yeah.
I think they're fine. Whoops!
And as,
Yeah, I know.
and
I'm
as
just
you're
letting
seeing,
you know ahead of time.
Should I pop him?
It-
Yeah,
and as, and as you're seeing
come
right
on.
now, this is also the part where the game is going to start. There we go. The game is going to start expecting a lot more from you now that you've reached the halfway point.
Oh yeah, no, like these levels are purely made knowing that you've already got all of your abilities from the nymphs, so they don't hold back.
Yep.
Oh, jeez.
Because you can't really progress without them.
Yeah.
It also
Yeah.
means we had quite a few number of fun little moments happening.
Oh yeah, I also
these
recall
levels.
that around this time, Logan didn't know that you could stand on the missiles.
No, I was like, how am I supposed to jump up there? I was like, you can.
You can stand on them.
I must go and immediately act upon this knowledge in real world and face no repercussions.
The floor is missiles.
I have been enlightened.
Even I knew that, and I can't think.
This just in,
thinking?
Lucky Jack horribly murdered as he attempted to land on a missile. When quoted, he said, Rayman told me to do it.
Oh yeah, well, if Raymond told you to jump off a cliff, would you? I mean, I did once, but that's only because he dropped a chocolate bar.
Let's also not forget that you were the one that misconstrued my species as glutes. You horrible person, you.
It would seem as though we have reached an impasse.
Impasse. The fat one is right. And that was
Globox
actually
just
another
kicked
thing. Like,
himself and- oh,
like when we were recording this, that's also when we found out about like glutes as a species, how they're separate from Globox, and we also
Yes.
kind of made that a running gag where Globox was kind of like you'll see it more in like the live com highlights, but we made it a running gag that Globox was having like a midlife crisis over it.
Oh.
This time I thought I
Okay.
had something, but... So,
I mean,
don't...
I will say that as far as like the initial confusion was concerned, it's something that the Bubble Dreamer, or well, as we more commonly know him as Paloka, said, in that he calls Glowbox the glute of the glade.
Right. Which I guess, okay. Ow.
Yeah, I
so-
was kind of confused about that for a long time too.
Which
So-
I'm not. Which I mean, granted, nowadays I'm just thinking to myself, what was that for, jerk?
I was giving you
trying to do that.
I was giving you a motivational like go get him tiger as you like go off to like get that coin. Also, so I guess
You go, Percy.
Catch Percy. So to get her involved in this, Seely, do you have any recollection or any? Don't hit that.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
No, I forgot. Oh, jeez, they caught
I
him. but
mean,
then the
that was
missile hit
a
him.
blessing in disguise. They landed on that platform.
But then the missile hit him
now
again.
they're gone.
Yeah, because the
And
missile hit
they're
them.
gone.
If you look back at the footage.
Oh,
the
no.
missile hit them in the
Thanks,
side.
Logan.
So
Yeah,
to get her,
That's really
so
heartbreaking.
to get, yes, so to get so to get her involved in the conversation, Seely, do you know anything about or concerning Rayman? Oh,
Oops.
Not really.
that is fair. So, to also get you more involved in this thing, explain to Seely what Rayman is, just from like a layman's perspective.
Layman's.
Damn it.
Yeah, I get you.
Well,
Didn't even realize that. Go ahead.
it's pretty much about a limbless dude going around smashing nightmares with his buddies. That's pretty much all you need to know.
And they saved the world. And they saved the world on accident.
Yeah,
Pretty
basically,
much.
like, well, that's how it is in Origins. Like, I know, like, some games, like, The Great Escape is more so the bigger offender of it. Well, not offender, but, like, The Great Escape was the game that kind of really enhanced the lore behind the series. But kind of
Yeah.
after that game, they've been kind of, like, going back and forth on, what's a lore?
Yeah, they've been retconning it with each new game.
I know we give hype a bad time, but with that one in particular, especially with the timing of it, it really just felt like Glowbox's head just was a magnet
know?
for that cage, and he was just like, "Sorry, I cannot stop that which is already in motion."
You know what? Hey, you know what? I was hoping to save this for when Matt was in the video with us, but I'll just say it. You want to know something that's kind of more annoying to me getting all these chests?
What?
How you guys won't shut up about it.
I'm sorry, but
I haven't been nagging you about it. I mean, again, you were only really bad about that for like the first.
Well, no, like I'm not talking about in the live comm. I mean in the post comm. Like it was mostly Matt, but then to an extent Logan is like, oh, I can't believe it got another chest. I absolutely need to make a big deal about it every time I see it.
And I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I absolutely could see. I understand what you're saying, but at the same time, I could absolutely twist that around and say, wow, spoken like a true bully. Man, you know what's more annoying than me slapping you across the face? You complaining about me slapping you across the face over and over again.
Exactly, so stop slapping me across the face, James.
I'm just saying, just in that moment there, but anyway, so...
You think I really have control over these hands?
But yes, honestly, if I were to try and, the best way I could think about how to explain to Sealy, just using references of things she already knows about, effectively, it's Kirby's Dreamland. It's the Dreamland area, Popstar, but with the mentality and maturity of Ed, Edd n Eddy.
Pretty much, yeah.
I could see that.
You know what? That perfectly describes it.
Like I said, like that whole like Ed, Edd n Eddy mentality thing, it's only really a thing in Origins, Legends, and to a slight extent Rayman 3. Like a lot of the games beforehand kind of took themselves a little bit more seriously in terms of like its fantastical setting.
So I guess by that logic, that would probably make Globox the Ed, Grand Minimus, the Grand Bitchamus from earlier as Eddie. That would make the Grand Minimus as Double D, and I'm just the random fourth stooge.
I was gonna call you Plank, but yeah, more or less.
You know what? Yeah, Plank would be perfect.
Plank.
Yeah, Plank is perfect.
Some people would argue he has about as much personality as Plank.
Rayman has gone better, but I do agree that in terms of personality, I actually like how Rayman is in Rayman 2 more than he is in 3, because I would
Well, is he really all that different between 2 and 3?
Well,
really.
he has. There's more. I feel like he had more presence in 2, if that makes sense. Like let's be
Well,
fair.
he had more
like,
dialogue, that's for certain.
because let's be fair. Like Andre / Glowbox really stole the show in 3.
Oh yeah, no,
They
like
kinda
let's.
did. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, Rayman definitely had a slight personality change. He was a bit more sarcastic. And
Yeah,
kind of
it's like between the two, it's that like he definitely had less presence in 3, but I think to kind of compensate, like the few times he got to show it, I feel like his personality had a little bit more mark in 3 than it did in 2.
Which, I mean, I'll agree. I do think that was a change for the better. It's just that, yeah, when you really take into perspective, it's like, I mean, granted, I'm probably the only one that's going to really remember the example, but Rayman in 3 honestly feels like Klonoa in the Klonoa 1 remake, in that he has a personality, but he has a mouth, but he barely uses it.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's fair.
And I think that's a problem with the writing. There was
So I would. Careful.
yeah,
Go ahead.
there were some writing issues with Rayman 3. You know, I still like it, flaws and all. But yeah,
That's
the
fair.
writing is just kind of lackluster in a lot of areas.
It really did try to go a little more into the humor side of things rather than, you know, just the typical stakes.
Yeah, I mean, and also they really should have just done more with Rayman. Like, even though he's supposed to be the mostly silent protagonist, they should have just they should have given him a little bit more to do than just yeah. Because he did more than punch bad guys in the second game.
Yeah, whoop-a-doo.
Well, again,
And-
I could tell
yeah.
from some of his conversations, like he did truly he was more or less how to describe it. He was more or less he was more or less
He was kind of
like
in 2, he felt like a slightly more mature Mickey, if that made sense.
well, he genuinely cared
yeah.
about people. He genuinely cared about the greater good. And stop it.
Stop it!
He's also a jerk, a very mean jerk.
You were nicer in Rayman 2.
I like that too. He does say that.
Yeah.
By the way, just much like in Rayman 3, even that time he could sometimes lose control over his hands.
Yeah, that's true.
He did.
Yeah, lest we forget, his hands inadvertently caused the entire Devil Dam plot.
They were
They
bored.
did, yeah.
They were very bored. It was a long day.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, Oh, I guess we should
Or-
probably, like, in case she was ever... Well, first off, some shooty shoots.
Come on, Glowbox. Wow.
Oh, guys!
Come on.
I'm still in the middle of my midlife crisis, seriously.
Take your lumps.
Okay, so what I was about to say is I guess just to let Seely know in case the thought ever crossed her mind, in terms of who's who, I'm Glowbox, the guy he's supposed to be blue, but I chose red because I like red. James is Rayman, and Logan is the Grand Minimus, who's the little blue guy with the crown.
I figured.
Yeah, oh yeah, the teensies are
They're
like...
pretty much they're the Toads of the Rayman series.
Yeah, think the Toads, but more tolerable.
Yeah. And they're just kind of like... I don't know what the wording... I don't know what the right word is, but like, they just kind of seem nonchalant about Rayman and his escapades. Like,
Yeah.
if a nightmare comes along, he's like, oh yeah, Rayman's got this.
Yeah.
Hey, Big
Oh,
Nose,
I
how's
mean-
it going?
Hey, Big Nose. I mean, you've saved the world like, what was it, 5 games? Like, why should we even worry at this point?
I mean, I honestly like that. I like the almost sarcastic parody tone this franchise can take with those old adventures because, I mean, if I lived in the land of Hyrule, I'm pretty sure there would be some people who are like, man, maybe that's why Ganon always is able to take control because nobody cares because they're like, give it like a year. Some dude wearing green's gonna show up and fix all this anyway. I don't gotta worry about
Yeah.
that.
I'm gonna go pretend the world will be saved in about 5 minutes.
You know what? You know what really makes me feel bad for the people that were around in Breath of the Wild because they're expecting green, but they end up seeing blue.
Yeah.
He's like,
Oh yeah,
wait
that's
a minute.
right. Hey, you're not the boy in green.
Maybe that's why everybody was kind of a jerk in that one because
Yeah.
also as we're seeing here, we can no longer just skirt on by. We may have to actually backtrack to get more tunes.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think we
Yeah.
ever did end up backtracking for this playthrough.
No, we didn't. Thankfully.
Okay, because I thought at one point. Oh, that's now I remember because it's like there's a steep jump, but then, ow! But then from
jumps,
No, what's back here?
this was a bad idea. This was a bad idea.
That was a waste of time.
walk left. Wow, there's nothing over here.
Not left.
Oh, okay.
Make the most of the time you
That was a
have.
gigantic waste of
Oh,
time.
no.
Which is almost
I don't know why I keep saying no nos.
It's a lot. This is probably I would say one of the more. This can be one of the most hectic platformer, like one of the most hectic platforming co-op things because of how fast and the fact there's friendly fire. Oh, hey James.
Yeah.
Actually, since we didn't have them on for that Mario Golf thing, we could take the time to now ask Wee and Seely about what they thought about some of the stuff revealed in that direct.
Oh yeah, how about that Super Mario 30th Anniversary Direct, which has absolutely nothing to do with what we're seeing on screen, but what the heck.
But it's just the sense that they haven't been here and they didn't get to participate in that
Yeah.
conversation. So we can just
Yeah, well,
I had no internet.
I
So-
have not seen it. I only know that they're releasing a collection of the older 3D games.
Yep.
Should we keep
Yeah.
it hush hush until
Basically-
then?
It's basically like All Stars, but instead of the 2D games, it's 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy. Not Galaxy 2 because people don't like that game because it doesn't have a story.
It's no, but
Still a fantastic game, though.
It's a good game.
to continue the Buzz Notes or BuzzFeed, whatever the hell it's called, to continue the Spark Notes version of the presentation, then for Glee and Seely, just get your guys' opinion. They did announce they're gonna do kind of like a port up, but also an expansion upon 3D World. But most notably, as Hype found in an addendum, not as part of the original trailer, they confirmed that this 3D World on Switch will have online co-op.
Which,
Yeah, that's
which
right.
I mean, caught me by total surprise.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And honestly, like, and I guess we can already like bring it up since it'll be a while before we get to it. We are gonna be, with that in mind, we do plan on redoing 3D World with that version.
Oh,
So
it'll be so
for a redo with 3D World.
Oh, it'll be fun.
right.
Well,
Also, I love how this level literally kept on bitch slapping you with the lines, and then eventually realized, oh wait, we forgot the limbless guy.
Looking good, Rayman. Looking good, Rayman. Looking good, Rayman. Smack.
sorry, I really,
Get that flying plump off the air.
sorry.
It's like, it's like the teachies don't really seem to care about Rayman's well-being unless it concerns them personally.
Well, no,
Or the-
because
That's-
it's like, yeah. Sorry, go
I
ahead.
mean, that's kind of what that's why you see a lot of them in cages.
Ew.
Like, something. Oh, jeez.
Oh
I think
no.
there's a checkpoint. Yeah, there was a checkpoint there. Thank goodness, because yeah, this level's a little bit like
Although that
Yeah.
one big lump just despawned for some reason.
oh, yeah.
I mean, for as bug nuts as this game can get, at least it's very generous with its checkpoints.
Nice.
At least you'll.
And kazoos.
Rayman, spit it out, spit it out. Okay, whatever you say, boss.
The screams. Okay, let's head on home, please.
That's always one of my favorite little details whenever I use that thing.
I just like.
But-
I like all the voices.
No, it's great. All the fun voices. But yeah.
Yeah,
all in all,
I think every single one of them is Douglas Rand, right?
that'd be
For
awesome.
I
the
heard.
yeah, for most of them, and I think they have a few others.
Although I think Douglas Rand pretty much went solo once Legends came around.
Yeah, because I know for a
Yeah.
fact he still voiced Rayman, Globox, the Tinsies, Barbara of all people.
Really? Oh, they must have just pitched it out.
Oh yeah, no pitch. You'd be surprised how far you can get away with pitch setting. I mean, heck, look at the Inklings.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. They're all voiced by one man.
Yeah, I can see that.
Except for the idols. The idols are actual, singers. Anyway.
Yeah.
But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. See you all for the next part of Ticklish Temples.
See you there.
Bye bye.
Wasn't this game supposed to have bosses?
Woomy.